Perfect. All right, guys, let me just share my screen and we kick off. Okay, can everybody see the screen? Perfect. All right, guys. So thank you for taking the time to join me here. So for those that don't know me coming in for the first time, my name is Rivaaj. I'm known as the online content creator, and I help coaches, speakers, and trainers to create their online courses, online programs. I build it for them and get it launched. So that's the difference from what I do and what most services you'll probably come across online. So I'm going to share some information today that I normally share with my clients, but like I say, it's information I feel it's time to share with people because I've been watching online for the last year or so, and the information that I feel coming across is not as strong, and I feel that's a lot of people have been left halfway and not given the full information. So I'm here to just to give you the full backend story of what actually happens on when you're creating an online course and an online program. So today's training, I'm going to give you quickly what's the difference between an online course and an online program, because I feel this is where it all starts off, because a lot of clients will come to me and say, I want to build a high ticket online course. And this is where the confusion starts with a lot of people. So I just want to clear up today what's the difference between an online course and an online program. And then once you create an online course and an online program, and I'm specifically going to talk about online programs here because it's going to be more beneficial for all you guys in the long run. So I'm going to give you 3 strategies we use when creating an online program, how to use it to your best, how to maximize it the best. And then I'm going to talk about the secret part of it. So it's a secret to most people out there. It's not a secret to content creators and course creators because we know exactly what this is, what's the secret is, but we don't share it as clean as we used to, or we should. You know, there's a lot of people talking about it now. You know, share your knowledge with value, but they're not saying why and how. So I'm going to share a bit of tips on that one. This is what I thought is it's key to talk about, which is the 4% activities and 64% revenue. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit more because I adopted that in my business, and as people, my clients adopted that in their business at the moment, and I can see the results myself. So I just want to share this. You know, this is something that I learned off my coach. He hounded me with this, and it was something very beneficial. And then I want to talk to you guys about the backend stuff. So this is the part I'm really passionate about, because I find a lot of coaches or course creators will teach you all the nice stuff, all the fluff stuff. And just as you're about to enter the difficult part, they drop you and say, okay, now go and find a platform like Kajabi and whatever, and go get your course launched. So I'm just going to give you some tips and tools of what the backend entitles and what it looks like. You know, if you guys want to ask any questions, don't hesitate just to unmute yourselves and ask questions, or ask me to slow down and I'll go through this again with you, right? So, so the first one we'll cover, what's the difference between an online course and an online program? So for your benefit, an online course is something that is short. It can be taken in a couple of hours or a couple of days. It doesn't require that much effort on your side. It's something that you create probably say example, 8 lessons or 10 lessons or how many lessons you feel comfortable creating, and you put this into our platform and you sell this as a self-study program or self-study course. So it's very short. Someone can do an entire course in one day. So we get somebody else to come in here. You can take a course yourself. You know, if you ever took a course online, you know, it's something very short, doesn't take much effort. It has worksheet, work guides. It has your lesson plan. You start at lesson 1, you finish lesson 10. You know, you have the workbook to download, and you walk away learning some value from that. But it's short, and it's something that doesn't require much of the coach or the trainer or speaker to get involved with. Now, when we're talking about online programs, so if you guys didn't understand that, just ask me again, and I'll explain that to you guys again. An online program is much more intense. It's an intensive it's more intense. So that's why when you hear people talking, I'm creating an online, or I'm selling an online program or high ticket programs, this is what they mean. So an online program is more intensive. This is where you have yourself getting involved with your clients. You're creating value. So you're creating, you know, if you created, let's say for your online course, you created say 10 lessons. An online program, you want to give it more effort. You want to establish more value, and this could take up to. So I've got clients that have their online programs that last short as 6 weeks, anywhere up to 12 months, because you're working with your clients on a close kind of. You're sharing a lot of information during this but you're doing it in either in weeks or in months strides. So you offer them a lesson, they will go learn this lesson, they will use the value information that you've given there, and they will come back to you or help you as support for your online program. So an online program is something much more intensive. It's much more interactive between the coach and the client. It's not something you just put up online and expect somebody to learn within a short period of time, a week, a couple of days. It's this last 3 months, sometimes 6 months, 12, like say 12 months. It's something that you're really going to give value for. So when you're creating these programs, don't think it's as simple as just, recording 10 lessons and that's and let it go off and sung. It is part of a strategy I'll talk to you about in a few minutes, but it's something that you need to realize you need to offer a little bit more value. Now, when I'm talking about value, there's a difference between value and there's a difference between overgiving. So when you're creating an online course or an online program, the best thing I advise my clients to do is, once you're creating a lesson, is to choose generally 1 or 2 problems and solve that problem per lesson. Keep it simple. You don't want to over deliver, because as coaches, consultants, speakers, whatever you guys are, you've got a lot of information in you, but we tend to want to cram everything into one program. So you can create multiple programs or multiple courses and open up an academy or a school or an online membership where your clients can keep coming back to you and take different programs that you have with you, so you don't have to cram everything into one. And this is what I find challenging with a lot of coaches, because they'll try to cram a lot of information into one program. And by the time you reach the second or third lesson, you just had enough. You just feel overwhelmed and say, I just can't do it anymore. I don't have the time. I'm not understanding it. This is too much information. This is not for me. Now, I've taken some programs that are, cost me between 5,000 to 10,000. And this is what I felt in the very first couple of lessons, like say, wow, information is just coming at me so much. And I keep going back to the start and repeating, it just gets too much. So my advice to you guys, if you're creating an online program, is to keep it simple. 2 problems, 2 solutions per lesson, and give value. Don't overcrowd the program, and don't give away all information in one go. Okay, so what I'm going to talk to you now is the strategy. So this is the strategies that I will teach most of my clients, but I'm going to give you this as part of today's training. So when you're creating an online program, I'm going to give you an example. So if you want to create an online program, we could talk about something called, let's say, mindsets. If you want to teach somebody about mindsets, so there's 3 ways you can use this lesson. So let's say you go off and record 10 lessons, and this is what you want to sell as your program. You want your program to last, you got 10 lessons, you want your program to last 10 weeks, or you want to extend it to 10 months, depending how you want to do it. Once you record those lessons, bear in mind, the same lessons you can use 3 different ways. You can use it 4 ways actually, but I'll show you what's the 3 different ways. So the first way you can use your online program or sell your program is something called automated. This is when somebody will purchase something off you, will purchase this program off you, and have a complete self-study experience. That means they'll watch the lessons, they'll download the work guides, they'll do the work by themselves, and hopefully, they should get the result they desire. That's one way of doing it. This is called automated selling. The next thing you'll hear a lot of coaches talking about, and I talk about this a lot as well, I'm actually started doing this in my own business, is called group coaching. This is where you're taking your lessons or the same lessons that you produced for the automated sales, and you're extending it out slightly more. And you're inviting people on a group coaching session. So you say, at the start of the month, I've got 10 seats open. I'm going to work with 10 coaches at the start of the month, and we're going to go through this program together as a group, 10 people. So every week you're going to meet this group on a Zoom call or via whichever media you choose. But you could, like, say, example, you're going to meet them on Zoom call and you're going to go through the lesson with them. So you give them the week to go through the lesson, to ask any questions, get the questions ready, and you go live during a Zoom or on a Facebook group, and you answer the questions and you work with them around that lesson. You're working in a group. So there's 10 people in a group, including yourself. There's 11 of you guys. And the great part about group coaching is you get your clients get a chance to mastermind amongst themselves. So somebody might be struggling with a question, they don't get a chance to ask for you, but they have the support of 9 other people they can reach out to and say, look, I'm having difficulties with this lesson. What you did and how did you work? So you're working as a group amongst each other. You masterminding with yourselves, and you're just causing this community amongst yourselves to say, okay, this is what we are, and this is where we're struggling, and this is the lessons we're learning. And like say, your coach jumps in you as a coach should jump in every week, every week, every month, depending on how often you want to do this, but it's good practice to jump in every week to go through the lesson, go through the questions and answers. Even if your lesson lasts a month, if you want them to take the lesson for a month, but show up every week and give the value to the group. Answer the questions, make sure they're understanding the lesson, and give your value to them. They're paying relatively good price. So this is one thing I forgot to mention on the first one. So when you're creating a self-study program, you can come in at a lower tier. You can come in at a lower price and say, for example, you can charge 500 euros for that program. Once you're doing a group coaching program, you can increase your price because it's giving you putting your time in there and you're supporting them. So always value your time as well. So for that 1 hour per week, depending how many groups you've got running, that's your time given. So value your time. So you want to increase the price slightly, not too much. We'll say, for example, we use 500 for the self-study. For this one, you want to raise it up to 600, 700, maybe 800. Example, you can go as high as you want to. I've got coaches that have gone into the 3000s for the group coaching sessions. And the great part about group coaching sessions, you get to serve more people in one go. You get a lot more people that will jump on a group coaching calls, group coaching programs, and you get to serve a lot more people, and you don't have to repeat the same information over and over again. So it's just the lesson goes out to them. You come in, you answer the questions and answers, you guide them through. So you spend about 60 minutes to 80 minutes actually teaching them something from the lesson, and let them go to Q&As and open the floor for questions and answers, and take the feedback in and see how they're feeling the lessons and what questions they have, and give them full support or whatever they have. Don't tell them just to move on, unless if you've got 90% of your group that are progressing fine, and you got the few that's struggling. Try to reach out to them separately and talk to them and give them an extra support to bring them up to speed with the rest of the group. So this is the great one about group coaching. So the next one we'll talk about is, this is the high ticket one. So this is what everyone talks about. So I want you to think about the same 10 lessons we took and we use as an automated sale. We use as a group coaching session. It's the same thing you can use to build your high ticket program. So the question you're going to probably ask in mind, so if somebody takes your self-study program and they want to work with you one-to-one on a high ticket program and already seen the lessons, what's the difference? So on a high ticket program, you're working with the person one-to-one, halfway through, or even 1/3 through working with them, you should understand what their specific problem is and tailor make the lessons towards them. So you're going to give them the program as part of the package, but you're going to tailor make your coaching sessions according to the problems they need. And this is where you move people into your ecosystem. So if somebody says, okay, somebody comes on board and says, I can't afford to do the one-to-one coaching session at the moment, you can always advise them, look, I've got a self-study program, start off there, learn how to invest in yourself, learn what I do, learn how to get your first result, and we can meet down the line again, in a couple of weeks, a couple of months, and let's talk if you want to take this further and one-to-one. When you're creating the one-to-one coaching offer or the high ticket offer, everyone's chasing now, remember you're spending a lot more time with your clients. So you want to extend your program a lot more. So you took the first 10 lessons that you had originally, and you're adding bonus lessons. So you want to shift more value into that. So you want to give away probably 4, 5, even 6 bonus lessons that you won't find on the group coaching program, that you won't find on the self-study program. You're giving a lot more value on this one. You're giving your time one-to-one with them, listening to what problems they have and solving them. And you also give them an extended version of the self-study program or the group coaching program. In most cases, I find that when a person comes onto your landing pages or your websites, they'll look at the 3 and say, okay, at this stage, I feel I want to work with myself and I just want to test what this about, or I can't afford the other programs just yet. So let me just go into the self-study program, click it, and off they go, and then the other time they'll say, okay, I want to be part of a community. They'll click on the group coaching session and you'll purchase that. So depending where your clients are, but you always have value for them when they come to you. Some people may not be ready to invest onto one-on-one, but you want to create that sense that you have enough value for everybody that's coming into your service. So you have the self-study, you have the group coaching, and you have the one-to-one. The one-to-one, I generally recommend that a coach uses only 10 spots in a year sometimes, depending on what volume you're charging for it, because there's a lot of time that goes into helping somebody one-to-one. So this is where most coaches burn out very quickly, because they're doing a lot of one-to-one coaching every single week. They got 3 or 4 calls per day, 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week, and they're burning out because they're doing far too many one-to-ones. So that's why moving your business into a group coaching scenario is most effective for more coaches at the moment. So a lot of coaches are going towards that line because you're helping a lot more people. You're not repeating yourself as often as you would on a one-to-one, and you focused on the person that has a one-to-one with you and giving them all the support you can and making sure they get the result they desire. I've seen that especially on the personal development on the mindset coaches. This is what is fundamental. That's going to move somebody to a higher level and will help them really achieve the results. You can learn it on the self-study, but you learn the basics. Once you roll on a group coaching or on a one-to-one or the high-ticket one, this is where you really get involved with clients. So always keep that in mind. You want to give, when a client comes on you, or your client books a call to you, and you want to give them the best offer. You try to close your call and tell them this is what I can recommend best for you. So all coaches will say, I always want to close on a one-to-one high tickets because it's the best value for me. But always remember the clients that you're talking to. They may not be in the financial space, and not be in the head space. They may not be in whatever space they are. So you as a coach, you need to put aside the financial gains on this and think about what's best for your clients coming through the door and say, you know what, at this stage, I feel it's best for you to take a self-study program, go through it, feel what it's like to work with me, what I can do for you, and let's talk again in a couple of weeks, and let's go high ticket from there, or one-to-one, or go into my group coaching program. The biggest thing that people will always suffer from is investing in themselves. We'll invest in everybody else, but when it comes to ourselves, this is where it's really difficult for people to invest in themselves. So you want to tailor something towards them. So that's why we offer the 3 packages. So with the pandemic coming to an end, and all this craziness coming to an end, I'm seeing a lot of new events coming up in physical. So this is where you also can take your online program or your lessons into a speaking on stage. So when you go on stage, you're going to take the same 10 lessons that you have already running as an automated, but you're going to choose 1 lesson out of the 10. And this is what you can talk to people about on stage. So it gives you a clear lesson to teach somebody on stage. So you don't have to struggle all the time to come up with new concepts. It's part of your program. So if you're teaching lesson 1 in an event and you're giving them the problem, you're giving them a solution, there's nothing will stop them from saying, okay, I want to move on to the rest of the program, or want to join a coaching program, or can you take me as a one-to-one client? So this is the benefit of creating an online, creating a program, because you can use it 3 or 4 different ways. You don't have to keep coming up with new content, because a lot of coaches that are starting for the first time, they've got this idea for a program for a long time in their head. So for them to say, okay, I need multiple programs in a quick succession, it's difficult. But if you've got one, these are the 4 ways you can push it out there and still have people enroll in you. So myself, like say I'm doing this online, and I do it, bring it in person at the moment with them, where I'm choosing a lesson from my program, which is the secret of the blueprint of creating online courses. And I talk to them about that lesson. When they feel they got the value from that lesson, I move them on to whatever they want, a self-study program, group coaching, or the one-to-one. But it's just the same information that I'm using in 3 or 4 different ways. Not to say I'm diminishing the value because of the price, but I'm reducing the amount of time I spend with the client at that stage. If it's self-study, so be it. Group coaching, 1 hour a week. If it's one-to-one, you want to give a lot more. You want to give them access to your WhatsApp or Telegram or whatever app you're using, so they could reach out to you and say, okay, I'm really struggling. Can you help me? Now, remember, the programs or whatever you do, somebody is investing their time with you. So you want to be able to reach out and support them when they really need something. If they're having a challenge, difficult time, they got to come at you at an odd time, be prepared to invest the time with them. So that's why I say keep it to 10 clients. Don't overbook yourself on high ticket one-to-ones, because you're going to be inundated with calls or messages or whatever medium you choose, and it's going to go back to square one again. So as a coach, you want to spend a lot of time building content, creating new clients, going to the sales and marketing side of it. So you don't want to spend so much time coaching one-to-ones in a week. Your time is short. So this is where coaches will say, I'm burning out because I'm just one-to-one every single day. And this is where the group coaching alleviates that problem or releases that stress from coaches or somebody that's thinking to build a program. So when you're building a program, always think about it 4 different ways. I'm going to create 10 lessons. The first 8 lessons I'm going to use as a self-study program. The group coaching program I'm going to use for 10 weeks, 10 lessons. And then I'm going to add 4 more or 5 more lessons as bonus material and teach that as a high ticket and work with his clients one-to-one. So this is the 3 strategies you can use. Any questions in that? Anybody got that? Any questions? Just let me know. Just unmute yourself and jump in, right? Don't hesitate. There's an active one. So this is something we talk about. Most coaches won't talk about, or most content creators won't talk about, or course creators, is what's next. So the what's next theory is once a client is finishing up your course or your program, you got to know what's next for them. You don't want them to go off into a new ecosystem. You took time to bring them into your ecosystem. You either a sales funnel, cold calling, one-to-ones, whatever you did to bring them into your eco group, you want to keep them there. So you want to create value for them. So the same thing I spoke about earlier, the 3 ways you can sell a program. So if you created an online program, you need to think about how I'm going to tier up again. So that's why I say when you're giving information on your first program, don't give away too much information. Hold things back that you can produce a new program and still give it value again, because the client will always want to know what's next. I'll give you an example. So when I wanted to learn how to fish, the person who was teaching me to fish, he just gave me the basics, how to buy a rod, what bait to use, what to use, whether you go sea fishing or freshwater fishing. But after a while, when I finished work with him on that short course or whatever he did for me, I was like, what's next? Do I need to go to somebody else, or do I kind of stay with the same guy again and he's going to teach me how to go deep sea fishing, for example? And he had something in place. So you want to create that what's next. So when you're creating a program, always think that, okay, the information I got that's this much. Let's give pockets of it or buckets of it at the first program and hold off till the next program and the next program. And you won't find yourself having to struggle to come up with content or new programs because you got information. You can always repeat the lesson name. Like say, if you're teaching somebody about mindset work in lesson 1 in the first program, you can extend that in lesson 2, in lesson 1 in the new program, but come into the different way, and give value, give new value, new information. Don't cram everything into one, because for one, it's not healthy for the clients because they're going to feel overwhelmed and not get the result that they want to or you wish to give them. So when you're creating this, always think about what's next. You want to create an ecosystem when you go from a self-study program to a group coaching program to one-to-one and something higher if you have some capabilities, So in my own service, I have the capabilities because I do self-study, I do group coaching one-to-one, and I build the person's complete program for them. So that's my added service to them. So that takes them all the way through to what's next. So I'm always thinking what's next for the client, what's next for myself, and you keep your business fresh and new all that time. You don't get stale very quickly. So this is what I learned from my own coach when I was creating my very first program. I had a lot of information. I wanted to help kids how to use their mindsets to come around all the difficult challenges they have when they go into colleges and schools. And my mentor at that time, Bob Proctor, gave us a lot of information. We trained, and I was going to go back and repeat everything to his kids. And my coach told me it's not right because you're going to need to give your life experience. So when you're creating an online course, especially an online program, the key thing or the secret that most won't share is you using your own life lessons to create these programs. Now, if you look at any successful program creator like Bob or Tony, they've always brought their own life lessons into any program. They talk about their life lessons. When you're talking about your own life lessons, you're sharing your own experience, how you went from point A to point B, what challenge you have, and how you solved your problems. And once people can see that, okay, here's somebody that understands what I'm going through or went through, and they're giving me the steps to get the results they achieved, I can trust this person because they did it. Information at the moment is available online anywhere via any medium. So if somebody wants to learn, information, I say I'm going to use mindset all the time. They can go on YouTube and listen to YouTube videos and so forth. But if you come with your own personal story, and this is the secret, you're creating your own, when you're using your own personal story, it gives a lot more true to yourself. You feel authentic. You'll share information much more easier. You'll talk about much more easier. And clients will trust you much more easier because they'll know this is your life story. So when you're talking about things, when you're sharing on social media, when you create your marketing, you're talking about you. You're not talking about a third person, or unless you're selling a program for somebody else, by all means do that. But even there's a reason why you bought the program, because it helped you. So you want to share your life lesson. So example, when a trainer comes to me and says, I want to train people how to do fitness, that's an amazing thing. You want to teach them how to do fitness. And I'll say, I want to show somebody how to lose weight in 30 days. There's a fabulous program, but really why? What's the reason behind this program? and then they'll say, okay, I had a challenge in my weight and I managed to get the result I got in 30 days. And this is the journey I took personally, and this is what I did first. And then realize, what, it's not just about the exercise, it's about the nutrition, it's about how you eat, it's about the mindset, because this is the steps I had to do. So they put their life into that program and gave it away. You don't share your intimate details, but you want to use your life stories because it creates really good programs out there. And this I've seen over and over again from my own coaches. They always start my journey, my story, and this is what I did, solved it, and this is passing on to you. The 5 steps, 10 steps, the secret, the formulas, whatever they use, what catchy words they use, but they're all talking about their own experiences and their life stories. And this is key. A lot of course creators will say, choose a topic, choose a niche, and then create, find the problem and have a solution. It can do that if you're into a technical side of it, or you're building something, or you're teaching something technical or finance or business, but you're creating something, a program that's authentic to you. Their clients will feel it. They understand this is my journey. This is the journey the coach took himself now, and you get credibility out of this. You don't have to have 100 testimonials behind your program, because you are yourself is a testimony to what you did. You got the result yourself, and and that's all you need to talk about every single time you go into sales marketing. You want to share this experience, where it was before, and bring it into into your program. And this is the results I have. So you want to create that sense. Everything it's about you. Just stay true to you. That's all I can say. Stay true to you. Be authentic and talk your language. Don't go and learn somebody else's language and try to regurgitate that, repeat that, because you're going to fall short. If you forget a word or meaning for something, you're going to find yourself difficulties. And when you're recording your videos, you'll come across so much more easier when you're just talking openly and freely about yourself, about your own life lesson and how you dealt with the problem and solved it. You'll talk more freely and you'll feel more connected to what you are sharing. And this is where the problem, a lot of course creators made mistakes or fell short. So I've seen this especially on TikTok, where a lot of them are following the trend and talking about NFTs and talking about whatever they're teaching at the moment. They're learning from each other and said, okay, this is a good topic, let's go and teach it. But they don't understand the full basics behind it, or don't understand the full the back end behind it, and they're making mistakes, and it doesn't feel true. And they just feel, okay, I can get the same information from the next guy on TikTok, or the next page, or on YouTube, or somewhere else, and it's information is free. So what's the point of learning from this guy or investing in you? You want to come across authentic. So I'm working with a lot of mindset coaches. There's probably millions of mindset coaches out there. I'm not sure how many, but everybody's teaching from their perspective, from their life story, how it helped them and changed them. Whatever you do, share your own experiences and teach people how to achieve results. You're the person that did this. You're the person that achieved this result. So be authentic to yourself. So this is one I normally don't teach openly, but I'm going to share this one because my coach drilled this into me, and I'm going to drill this into my clients at some stage. Well, they are getting to know this now. So the amount of time that you take in your own life to work on your program or to run your business, the successful coaches that I've been seeing and working with, and my own coach that I work with, only spends 4% of their time working on their business, and they're generating 64% of the income from that 4% activities, because they're choosing the 4% activities that is important to them. They're not doing everything. They're bringing in support from the outside. So they're spending 4% of the time they're spending either on finding new clients, sales and marketing, coming up with new content, and coaching clients. They're not spending all the time doing the research, putting up social media, doing the post, doing the back end of creating programs, all the platforms, all the technical stuff. They're not wasting the time to do that because that doesn't benefit them. You might say that, it's important, a coach needs to get involved in creating his program because it's his business, but he knows he's got so much more information he has to give out, and there's no point wasting his time doing all the mundane stuff where he can spend the 4% doing activities that's going to generate him income, like finding new clients, working on sales and marketing, working on your content. These things are all revenue generation activities. So learn to give away things that don't serve you. So I got some VAs at the moment that I'm working with, just 20 hours a week. I work with them. I got 2 VAs a week, and I delegate a lot to them that I don't need to do. And it's changed the way I do business. I got a lot more time. And if you noticed over the last couple of weeks, months, the way I'm posting on Facebook and so forth has changed because I got the time to come up with content and think about what I want to do next, and not continuously every day just going, taking activities that don't move that income needle or don't move my business. I want to impact and help as many coaches as I can with what I do, and this is one way. So I focus on my 4% activities per day, including my own mindset and getting myself ready for the day, sales and marketing, getting new clients, and how I'm going to impact the client. That's my 4% activity for the day. And I see that coming through on the back end, on the revenue side of it, So focus yourself on what's going to generate you that income and learn to delegate things that don't to others. I know some people would say, I'm not in the financial state yet to delegate to somebody else, or I don't want to bring somebody else on board because I'm still starting a business. But research it, because you'll be surprised a good VA, how not say cheap, because they are, they have value. I'm getting it at really good rates. I'm getting my VA around $2 per hour. She's from the Philippines, but she's absolutely amazing. She's an absolutely amazing person to work with, and you find these kind of people out there. So let them, and it doesn't cost much. €2 per hour. I use it for 20 hours a week, and she's creating some phenomenal results for me, and I'm able to concentrate on the rest of my business, and that's what's moving my business to the next level. So when starting out, think about at some stage you want to bring on more support. The reason why I also talk about this topic, so when I'm talking to coaches that are creating their own online programs, I find they take a lot of time trying to create it by themselves, try to do all the technical stuff, all the backend stuff, try to upload the platforms, websites, whatever they want to do. And it takes them months and years to try and get their own program out there. Whereas if they get somebody like myself that can support them from go one, I can get up and running for a couple of months, couple of weeks, and you can move on to the next one, build the next program and next program. And that's what I do. I help support these coaches. So you want to look for the same kind of people that can support you. So this is the one I want to talk to you guys about, spend more time talking about. This is the one stuff that no one talks about. So I always say no one talks about it because when I was learning how to create my own first online program, my coach was phenomenal. He taught me how to create my content. He taught me how to price it. He taught me how to find my niche, all the important stuff. And then he says, good luck. I hope you get on well. And then like I said, okay, I went off. And then online, you'll see Kajabi will be putting sponsored ads, LearnWorks will put sponsored ads, Samcart will be putting sponsored ads and saying, you can upload your program onto the platform and you can start making sales in 30 days or whatever. And I said, okay, I fell for that hype and I did it myself. So I registered to Kajabi, I registered to Podia, I registered to so many different platforms. But when I got inside, by God, it was a complete different experience. All right. So when you go inside a platform, there's so many different steps you have to take to understand how to bring your course to life or bring your program to life. You can't just upload a program okay, you can do it in Udemy, you can upload it there and they will hold your program there and they will, advertise or show off your program amongst the rest of 25,000 in there. If you're a person that's wants to run your own business, you want to have some place people can go and view what you do or see what you do. So when you're choosing a platform, you want to choose a platform that is able to run your business the way you want it. You want to be able to build your programs. You want to be able to build your websites or sales funnels, automated emails, and you want to have a payment gateway. Those are the important stuff. So let's break it down a little bit more now. So when somebody's coming to me and said, okay, I recorded my lessons. Stop share for a second, and I'm going to show you this in actual. I recorded my lessons and I want to share with what do I do? And so when I first created mine, I was trying to share this really quickly so you guys understand what's the difference. Two seconds. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share screen because I'm trying not to laugh because it's my early days. So this is my first attempt at creating my very first lesson. I thought, everybody. And then there from there, I was noticing what the other coaches are doing online and how they successful coaches are running their programs, and realize, hang on, putting in a raw footage or putting in a raw video, it's not going to ask for the value I'm asking for. So you can create videos on Zoom and upload it into platforms, but you want to create something of value, you have to put more effort into it. So from that, this was the final outcome. So that was raw footage that I took, and that was um, the edited version. So when you're creating your online programs, you want to think about that. So just putting up raw footage that you could shoot on either your phone or a laptop, doesn't care what device you use. Always remember that it's not important what device you use, but it's and the information that you're sharing is value. But if you're creating a high ticket offer, you want to create something that people will remember. They took the time, they took the effort to do something well, and this is why they're charging this price. So I found a coach that's wants to charge 3,000, and they handed me a set of videos, and it was raw. It doesn't look edited. It wasn't branded properly. It just didn't look the parts. And how are you going to charge somebody 3,000 for something that's looks like they shot in the backyard or doesn't look the parts? You want to, although your information is valuable, but you want the person that's buying it to know that you took the time, you thought about what they would like, you thought about yourself, how you want to present yourself during these lessons, and you edited your videos properly, and you gave some definition to your business, and you had your videos branded. You took the time, somebody did it for you, you did it yourself, but you want to look the value. If you're charging the 3,000, the 5,000, the 10,000, if you ever took a course that's valued 5,000 and over, you'll always look at the videos. It's always edited properly, it's branded properly, it's always looks the part, and it calls for the value that you're asking for. So I stress this. There's a lot of time people say they can create an online program in 30 days or less, go off, record your videos, but does that suit your business? Is that giving you what you truly are? Is it representing you? You just don't feel that you're giving enough value when you're just putting up videos left. And a lot of coaches will come back to me and say, okay, I have my lessons recorded. It just doesn't feel right. I don't feel I'm coming across my best. It looks very untidy, or there's parts of it I wish I could cut off and change off or add something to. So one of the systems I use is called OpenShot. So if you want to take this down for yourself, it's a online cloud-based editing program where you take your videos, you can cut it, snip it, and add information to it. You can add your branding to it. You can add backing tracks to it. It's called OpenShot. It's free to use. It is upgraded versions, but for basics, I always ask my clients, when you use OpenShot. It's the cloud-based, very simple to use platform where you just upload your video and you can edit it and cut the portions you don't want to cut it, or add your branding to it. It's very simple, user-friendly, but edit your videos, make it look part of your program and part of your branding, and don't just leave it raw. So this is that's the part backend people don't realize when they're creating the programs. This is what I have to do to make my videos look the best part. And then let's show you about the workbooks and worksheets. So I come across it a lot. Somebody's creating a workbook or work guide for somebody. Take a Word document, throw a logo in the corner, type out the worksheets, and use that as the workbooks, or using just a Word document. Where's the value in that? You are coming across as a coach that wants to create value. You're creating a business, you're creating a brand for yourself. Where's the value in that? How much time did you take? Are you telling your customer or your clients that this is how much you value them, and you've taken no time to create something that has value? So I know it's something that sometimes coaches will say to me, it's not important. For me, it's very important the way I present myself and present my business. And there's new ways to do things. I'll show you guys now. There's new ways you can use this, because everybody thinks that online documents or online workbooks that needs to be something that someone needs to download and take away. So there's new ways to do things. So this is one of mine. This is one of my guides I use in my book. So this is an online document that a client doesn't need to take away. They can edit it online. So there's multiple tools out there that allow you to do this. So my client doesn't need to download or to print out any workbooks and work guides. They edit it online and save it to their library. So I'm creating that value for them. I'm creating ease for them, because the last thing I want to do is a client to go and find a printer and spend hours printing stuff out and print it over and over again and keep writing over it, whereas they can do this online. So think about the value adding to client's time, and think about the look of it, and think about what you're adding to your program and making it look the part. And like I say, all of it, everything is online. You can edit it online and they can keep it for life. It's all theirs because they paid for it. So add that value. And there's another one I use. So as you advance through it, so this is one I advanced through. It's a flip book. I create this for lead generations. I use that for high-end programs. It just looks the part. Now imagine getting a Word document versus that. How much difference you're adding to a custom, to a value to your program. If you're going to say I want 5,000 or 10,000 in your program, and they're just looking into worksheets and your videos, editors, it's worth it. Let alone the information, but the way this guy's presenting his business himself, he's worth it. He's taken the time to present something that has value. So I'm prepared to pay this behind it. And they're going to talk to the next person, and just say, I came across this phenomenal program, and by God, you got to see what it looks like on the inside. And I use some. So there's new coaches I see coming online now, and they're investing in really good backend software. They're creating this nice branding, and it just looks the parts. You want to go into the program, you feel like taking the program, and not feel like you're getting something on YouTube and you're getting homework from school, no Word documents. They feel they invested themselves in something. This coach took the time to give them the information, and they feel they got something really valuable out of this one. So take the time to do those things. So the other thing I want to talk about is payment gateways. So this is where a lot of the course creators won't give this information. They'll say, put it into a platform and go off and start charging people. But how do you charge people? Where do you charge people? So PayPal was a platform a lot of people used before. So there's new ones called out there. Stripe, it's out for a long time, but people are using Stripe now. It's the easy way you can connect to your platform, connect to your website, connect to anything that you want to sell. So even if you got a one-page landing page or a sales page, you can still add in a Stripe product and use Stripe as the backend, and our clients can pay into Stripe. Stripe, you don't have to have an account as a customer. You enter your card details, and it works for you, and your payment is done online securely and safely. So Stripe is one of the ways I use for a lot of my clients. I know some clients in Canada will have difficulties with this, but Stripe is a very popular online payment gateway now. So think about the payment gateway, how you want to receive your funds. You created this program, you put all the effort in your videos, you created your lessons. Now someone wants to buy it, what the best platform is. PayPal, somebody has to open a PayPal account in order to use your PayPal. Commissions are the same at the moment between Stripe and PayPal. I think it's 5%, so there's no difference there, but Stripe has more advantage because you don't need to open accounts to use this. And you can create invoices to send to your clients. You can send out statements to your clients. It does a lot. And so I recommend use Stripe as your payment gateway. As part of your selling process, when you're creating the backend to your program, always remember, okay, I've got this on the platform. I use, say, example, Kajabi. How do I promote my program and what do I do? You need a sales funnel on this one. So you want to create a sales page, landing pages, and a place for people to go in and view your services and products. So part of your sales strategy, or when you're choosing a platform, see if these platforms are able to do this for you. Create the websites, create the sales funnels, create the landing pages, create the payment gateways, and create your automated sequence. So when a client presses a button, it sends them through a sequence that takes as much steps to reach the products and to purchase something off you. No third go to third-party websites and go to third-party services. A platform is got to be able to run your business, automated, and that's why I say be careful or be very wise when choosing to use a platform. So I know a lot of my clients say Kajabi costs a lot. It does cost a lot, but it does a lot as well. So there is ThinkFit, which is very similar to Kajabi. It does your websites, your landing pages, your sales funnels, your automated, your payment gateways. So there's 3 or 4 platforms that allow you to do all that. So research your platforms and think what's best for your business and how you want your business to run. If you're just starting out, there's basic plans. As you grow your business, you can upgrade. But these platforms will allow you to run your business as easily and smoothly as possible. But the only disadvantage, and I say this not being mean, across any platform, it always takes time to learn how to use these platforms. So when you're going into your whole program creation mode, save time aside to learn how to use these platforms and how to build on these platforms, because this is where time is going to get wasted a lot. So research how easy it is for yourself, user-friendly, what's the interface like, it's drag and drop, or whether it needs programming or whatever it is, but see what's best suited for yourself when you're creating this. The other way you can do this, if you're just starting out your business, is you can use a WordPress website to build a membership site on your WordPress website. So you're not paying a monthly subscription fee to the other platforms. WordPress has apps at the back end, or plugins, they call them, like Elementor Tutor, which you can plug in into your backend website, and it'll open up a membership site for you. And it serves the exact same thing as a platform like Kajabi and ThinkFit would. Client logs into the account, gets to your program, and they get access to your program and services through this membership site. Or you can have a whole library of programs. Once they become a member or log in, you can give them access to whatever programs you want them. That's a cost-effective way to do it. So a WordPress website will probably charge you about $200 for 48 months for a license. You get your free domain, you get your email addresses, everything included in that. The only disadvantage on a WordPress website that you have to update the website, the backend yourself, make sure it's always running fine. And the email automation might not be working as well as it would in the other platforms on WordPress. So it becomes manual. So once you create an email account, you'll have to send off the emails manually or campaigns manually. There is plugins that allow you to do automatic emails through WordPress, but they always ask for an upgrade for it to run perfectly right. But WordPress is one way you can bypass all the big platforms and get that created. Or if you had a WordPress website, you can plug this in and create your membership site on your platform. You don't have to go and find an expensive platform. Now there is different type of platforms out there. One is, like say, you pay a monthly license fee, and there's one platform out there called Hotmart, which is a free platform to use. There must be more than that, but this is one I prefer. It's a free platform to use to build your program, and they only charge you a commission based on what you sell. Okay, the platform again is called Hotmart. It's a Spanish-based platform, and it's emerging into the country at the moment, and it's doing really well. So I built my very first program in Hotmart, and it allowed me to do that. So only when a client bought something, I paid commission, and it's free to host and keep it there. But the same principles apply. Think about your lessons, think about your Word documents or your work guides, think about how you want to upload your videos. The same rules apply there, just that you get charged only, you pay commission on that platform only. So that's one way you can go around creating or taking on expensive licenses like Kajabi or ThinkFit that you don't want to pay every month. So while you're doing your program, while you're creating your platform and you're building your backend platform, think about how you want to present it on the front end. So you need to create social media ads or social media images or banners that you place on your social media like LinkedIn and Facebook or Instagram that drives people back to your business. This is part of your sales funnel strategy. This is part of your branding strategy, but this is something you need to really understand. So when you're creating an online program, don't just think it's just about creating lessons and uploading to a platform. Think about the whole back end of it. You know, where did the client go and get your program from? Where did it land? You know, what's your selling process behind it? You know, and what's the front end look like? So you want to advertise about your program, so you need to have some social media presence or something in the front that follows through to your brand, so customer experience or client's experience is follows through very clean from the time they see your ad on Facebook. When they click a button, it takes them to a platform where they can purchase. It looks the parts, it follows your branding, and person will it just adds trust to your brand, because the person's going to say, okay, I see the red, white, and blue color here. I'm seeing it red, white, and blue on the sales page. I'm seeing it red, white, and blue on the landing page. So this person is authentic. They're using white. You'll see sometimes people will have a different image, a different color on one page, and they click through, takes them to a third-party site, and completely different branding, looks different, and you're not sure whether this is the same person or you want to enter your emails and it goes off to a third party. So you want to be careful with that. You want to create that always like say, this is me, this is what I do, and I'm always going to be, visible to you in the right way. So you want to create the consistency across your branding and let people start to trust you from the word go. From the time they see your branding, from the time they're going to see your platform, your sales pages, your websites, keep it looking branded and keep it looking as the same. So a client forms a trust with you all the way through with your branding or whatever you may be, but it forms a trust aspect with you. So I hope if you got some value out of that backend stuff. Is there any more stuff about the backend you guys would like to know about? Any questions about the backend you guys would like to know about? Feel free to unmute yourself and ask away. Are any guys looking to build online programs at the moment, or have started building online programs by yourself and experiencing tech difficulties?
Can you go back to your slide earlier at the page that you have the 4% activity and the back end stuff?
Yeah.
Can you go back to, I can see it. I'll ask you a few questions here.
Yeah, no worries. Straight with me. I'll go back to you. Is this one?
The one after this, I think.
Or is this one? Okay.
Yeah. So on this one right here, this is the 4%, right?
This is the 4% activities I do myself, and this is 4% activities that most successful coaches are doing at the moment. So like I said, they're taking time to write their personal message lessons, and they're taking time to write content. They're taking their time to shoot new videos, new lessons. They're taking the time to create the sales funnels. They're taking the time to do webinars, masterclasses like this. So if you're a coach that's working every single day on a one-to-one, trying to do everything yourself, you're not going to have time like this to do training like this, to invite people to a training where you can talk to them and get to understand what's the problem and the solution, because you just feel that you're overwhelmed. And how often am I going to sit and have time to focus on planning what's next? So when I learned how to take this 4%, so I very strong. I keep to the 4% every single day. I have 4% of activities. The rest of it, I say, okay, I'm going to delegate to the VA. I'm going to delegate to this company. I'm going to delegate to this company. And I know at the end of the day, you may say there's a lot you're paying out that you should keep within your business, but money will come to you guys. Always believe that in yourself. The more you put out, it will come. It must come back to you. I was tight to us at the start. When I started my business, I was prepared to do everything myself. And I realized, hang on, I'm burning out here. I can't do this. So that's when I brought in the VAs. I brought in a company that will help me with my sales and marketing. I brought in people behind me. I said, okay, if I do this 4% activities right, I can generate the revenue I need to pay these people and to have my business up and running properly. Like say, I was always taught from an early age to try and save as much as you can and do things by yourself and learn by yourself. And by God, I learned the hard way that 6 months in my business, I was burning out and finding it very difficult to keep the pace. I had no life left. Like now I can actually travel anywhere in the world because I was stuck to my office at home and trying to work from there and just put my head down all the time. And from morning till night, from morning, I started doing social media campaigns and posting on social media, writing content, and it reached by the time it was 11, 12 o'clock the daytime. And then I said, okay, now I've got client calls from 12 o'clock to 5 o'clock. I was working with clients from 5 o'clock. I haven't said eating anywhere in between this now. I will stop eating at some stage, and it was just continuous. And then from 7 o'clock, I had training calls, and then I had my business. I physically build the stuff for you guys. I physically build the programs with you guys. I do all the backend setup for clients. So I take all the videos, I edit it, I create the workbooks, I build a platform for them. I do everything for them. That's a complete service I provide for my clients. And I started doing the actual service probably at 7 o'clock in the night sometimes, right till midnight or beyond that. And the next day was the same, and the next day was the same until I realized, hang on, I'm going to burn myself and kill myself in this one. What's this with you on that, Nate? What's made you ask a question?
Yes, between these 4 activity and the back end stuff, what are you helping us with our content? Because I remember last time I talked to you last year, you talked about, you can create the content and we provide a raw footage for you and then you help to put it up. So between this and the back end, what is it that you provide? Are you helping with us with?
Okay, so example, if you want to create a program and you come to me and say, I want to create a program. So the only thing you have to create is create your lessons that you record yourself. That's because that's information to you. And you come to me and said, okay, I got my lessons created, and I've got an idea of my information for the workbooks or work guides. What's next what's the next step? How can I use your support? And from there, I take over. So I take your raw footage and get it edited for you to look the part it should be. I'll find a platform that works best for you, whether it's WordPress platform or LearnWords, Kajabi, Podio, whatever platform you want to invest in. I'll give you all the options. You tell me, okay, I'm prepared to invest into Kajabi, for example. From there, I go inside, I build your website, I build your landing pages, I build your sales funnel, I put up your program, edited program. I create all the content that goes with that. I get your workbooks and work guides uploaded to the program, so you don't have to waste time learning how to use the platform. That's the big thing a lot of coaches are finding difficult, because none of them are tech-minded or want to take. So when I was learning to use, example, Kajabi, it took me about 3 months to learn how to use the platform correctly. I could have shortcutted it and done it in a week and say, okay, off I go. But I realized, hang on, how do people get to the platform? I need to build a sequence for people to get to the platform. When someone clicks a button, where do they need to go for them to get the program? So that all took me time to learn. So I do that for you guys. So all you have to do is spend that 4% of your time creating your lessons, and from there you say, okay, Rivaaj, here's my raw footage. Go for it. And 3 or 4 weeks later, you've got your full program back to you again, and you're working on the next program within the 4 weeks. Or within the 4 weeks, while I'm creating your platform or creating your program for you, you're often selling it. So you can start selling your program while I'm building it. So once I'm past, like say, lesson 3 or lesson 4 of actual creation, you can start selling it, because it can take a client 3 or 4 weeks to get to that part. So I can work the back end while you guys are selling it. And this is part of your 4% activities, is the sales process of getting people to buy the program. So that's all you need to concentrate now is, okay, I've got the program, someone's working on my program, let me start selling it. And that's part of the activities. That answer you, Nate, or is something else you want to ask?
Right.
That answer you, is that or something else you want to ask behind that?
Oh yeah, no, that's great. Can you go over to the back end stuff too? I think a couple of slides after this.
Sorry. So this is everything I do. I help
Oh,
you
okay.
choose.
So this is what you mentioned before. This is what you do.
Yeah, this is what you do. But this is the backend stuff that not be said. Okay, this is the backend stuff you need to create your program. Not what I do only. This is the backend stuff you need to bring your program to life.
I see.
So yeah, so the reason why I say I do this is because I do it for clients. But this is what, if you're trying to do it yourself, you need to have this in your mind as well. Okay, what platform do I choose that's suitable for me? Does the platform have capabilities for a landing page or websites? I don't know, like say I showed you the intros, and so does my platform allow me to create my workbooks, my work guides? How do I host my videos on this that's easy for a client to access? Does it have a sales funnel process, an easy sales funnel process, a 2-step sales funnel process? Does it allow me to have my payment gateways open so it's people can pay properly? Does it allow my email sequence? So when I say an automated email sequence, this is what happens. So probably what you saw on mine. So when you clicked on my ad or my link, it took you to the first page where you filled in your name for this, but it jumped you to a next page that showed you what services I offer as well, or call to action. You have to see if your platforms allow you to build this. Sales funnels are very important. People always say, you can sell from just a 1-page landing page. You can sell. By God, you can't. I can challenge Sam Cart this day and night, because Sam Cart is the one that's saying this. You can build a 1-page landing page and you can start from there. Why can't you? Can't. Kajabi did the same thing. You can create online course in 30 days, but we took the challenge ourselves and realized, hang on, it takes more than 30 days to record your videos. It takes more than 30 days to learn how to use the platform. And when you go into Kajabi, you're relying on the support team to show you how to use the system, or you have to learn it yourself. It takes more than 30 days to understand all this. It's more than 30 days for you to build your sales funnels and understand what needs to go in the sales funnel that will get your customers interested to buy. You know, it's not just putting up information there. So it's a lot more information that you have to think about just before going into that. So creating an online program is a fantastic start, but always remember there's a lot more on the back end that you need to think about as well. That's going to make your program successful and make it work for you. I have a lot of coaches that spend a lot of money building or creating their courses or programs on platforms and realize hang on, halfway through, I can't do this anymore, and stopped because they couldn't bring their head around it, the back end stuff. So beside what I do for you guys, this is what you have to think about when you're doing it for yourself.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem with that. Any questions on that? Any questions for anybody on that one? No? Ask away, don't hesitate. I'm here to answer. Okay, so
I've one question.
shoot away, Daniel.
You said at the start with the automated selling, sells through a funnel or CTA. What's that?
Call to action. A call to action is whether you want them to book a call with you, whether you want them to purchase a program from you, whether you want them to, let's say, jump on a service with you. So call to action is CTA. So when you're creating a sales funnel, landing page, websites, you put in your phone number as a call to action because you want someone to call you. You're creating your online courses and program. You want people you want to have a call to action for people to buy it as well. So you're creating your sales marketing media on Facebook or anything. You want to have a call to action there as well. You want people to book a call, buy the program, or even if you're selling something that's high ticket or you feel that you need to invest time talking to people, you want people to book a call with you. So you want to give them an easy link to say, okay, here's my value, this is what I can do for you, or my information, book a call, and I'll talk to you more about it.
Okay. So what we do basically, we give the content. We need to know what we want to teach or coach or whatever it is.
Exactly.
And we can just do the raw thing, our knowledge, put it in, and then we can well, you made a website already for me, which is brilliant. You do the rest then as well. Like you can, if I have snippets of videos or if I can edit a video, give it and you put it all up there.
Everything.
Like what I have already, I can increase now.
You can increase now. So what I do for clients and what I do for coaches like yourself is like say, I don't want you guys to spend so much time wasting time to go and edit and to go and do all this yourself when I can support you guys do it. So all you do is give me the raw footage, give me a Word document, say, okay, this is what I want to teach. And so what I'm talking about, I want to create a workbook and work guides to match what I teach and give it to me. And I'll say, okay, I'll go edit your videos. I will create your workbooks and work guides for you. I'll ask you for some input, of course, when I'm creating the sales pages or your sales funnels, I'll ask you, tell me a bit more about your life story and why you're doing this. And from there, I'll extract information. So I've done over, I'll say, close to 100 or 150 sales funnels at the moment, tested and tried myself. I don't claim I know sales funnels because it's changing all the time, but I know how the sequence works. So I can ask you for information I know is gonna pull at your clients emotionally, and they're gonna see, okay, this person can really help me.
Okay. So you give input as well, like, okay, you should go that direction, or I need this information, and we can provide it then. Yeah, that's brilliant. We have to talk. Thank you. Thank you.
Like I say, I'll share my link here, guys. If anyone wants to book a call, and I'll share the link with you guys now. I know it's probably have direct access to I'll share the link anyway, just in case you guys want to book a call with me. And like I say, if you are thinking to create a program or something, don't be frustrated and don't be left out alone there. Ask for help. I'm ready to help you guys. Even if you just want to jump on a call with me, I'll share the link with you now. So you have it.
Rivaaj, can I say something?
Ask away, by all means.
Hi, everybody. I'm not sure if all of you are actually planning to work with Rivaaj or already working with him, but in the moment he works with me, I'm so impressed. I feel relaxed, and because I have this fear from camera and from a lot of things, but working with him really so easy. And just you forget you have this fear. Is it? I
Lovely.
fully recommend to work with him. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Appreciate it. This is the stuff that's when people say go and create your online program in 30 days. This is the stuff that people won't teach you how to do that. You know, as human beings, we are camera shy. It took me a year to go on camera live or do something that I could speak on live. It took me a long time to get over the shyness and fear, but this is why I trained myself. And this is how I shared my clients as well, how to get over the fear. And what's the best way to record? Make you feel comfortable. And this is why when I say talking about your life story, this is what makes people comfortable, because it's like talking to a friend. Whenever you're on live, doing anything live or ever online, doing recordings or creating lessons, think about you talking to a friend. Don't think of talking to your clients, because the clients will become your friends. Like Mimi and Daniel, these are my friends now, you know. So that's how you look at them as your friends, talk to them as friends, and you deliver so much more easily, much more relaxed environment than anything else. Any questions before we close up for the night, or anything you want to ask, by all means. Even if it's not on the list, if you want to talk about it, ask away. I'll answer as best as I can.
It was very informative. Thank you so much. I'm surely motivated again.
Definitely. And I say the replay is available, so I'll send out the replay to you guys again with the next day. Like say, if you don't make it to watch it the next 48 hours, like say that, I know you took a lot of information, but like say you'll have the replay. If you don't have access to the replay, let me know. I'll send it to you guys again. You'll have access to it all the time. Or jump in my Facebook group. It'll be there always. So you can always go back and watch it again and get information. And like say, if you want to book a call with me, the link is there. Go ahead and book a call. I can talk to you again one-to-one with you guys and really understand what you want to outfit. Okay, thank you
I'll
so
get in
much for
touch.
joining me for this 1 hour.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
Thanks, guys.
you.
Thank you.
Talk
We'll
again.
talk to you guys
Thank you
soon.
so much.
Okay.